You've got the strategy, you've got the talent, and you've got the drive. But for some reason, stakeholders, budgets, shifting priorities, restructure, the needle just isn't moving. For most people, this is frustration. For a high achieving, task orientated leader, it's a crisis. It feels like you're failing even when you're doing everything right. This was the conundrum one of my leaders was facing recently. And so today we're going to talk about how to stop project frustration from becoming a leadership leakage where your career, your credibility, your character is on the line. How do you stay the best version of yourself when the work itself is at a standstill or has so many blockages facing you that it's very hard for you to move forward and see progress? So let's talk about the psychology, the why. So if you're a high performer, your brain is wired for what I call the close. So you get a dopamine hit from progress. And when progress stops, your brain essentially goes into a withdrawal state. So in this case, you may become irritable, hyper-focused on the lack, and if we're being honest, a little harder to work with. Whilst your emotional intelligence tells you what is happening at a cognitive level, your task orientation at an emotional level is screaming at you to fix the problem. There's good news though. This tension, this is where the best leaders are forged. And the answer is not about fixing the project in the moment. It's about fixing your inside game or state. So let's have a look at 2 tools to help you to deal with the how of overcoming your state. The first one is what I call the progress pivot or reframe. So the tendency when a major goal is stuck or stalled, or you have more blockages and challenges than you're able to see progress around, your brain will start looking for what's broken. It'll start to hone in on the negative, and that feeling of failure, overwhelm will start to manifest. So let's stop that cycle in its tracks. Find one small piece of information that you gained, whether it was today, yesterday, last week, last month, the last year. So maybe, an example, maybe you finally learned why a specific person is saying no, or you were able to recalibrate a difficult relationship. Perhaps you were able to restructure your resource base, get rid of people that are potentially hindering movement forward in your team, creating a better structure and fit within the team. Or if you can't find movement in the task, find it in what you've learnt, whether that's about yourself, whether it's about the team, whether it's about the organization, something within your current environment that allows you to focus in and hone in on the things that are actually working. So we call those bright spots. This will keep you from burning out while you wait for things to change. The second tool is called the state shift, or I like to call it your inside game shift. So this is when you start to notice a name that physical hit of frustration, whether it's the tight chest or your racing thoughts. you will need to break the loop. Interrupt it by noticing and naming it. So notice a name so that you can interrupt. That's going to take you pausing. So you're going to need to take some pauses during your day to notice a name enough of how you're feeling in order to do a reset. So the physical state reset is called a box reset. And it's quite simple. You breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a physical command to your nervous system to move from limbic to logic headspace. So you're moving your brain from that limbic emotional part of your brain to your logical problem solving part of your brain. So right before you walk into your next meeting, you could ask yourself, what is the one word I want my team to use to describe me after this call? And instead of worrying about what you need to get from them, you're focusing on how you want to act for them. So those are the tools. One's a head tool and the other one is a body tool. So as we close off, the truth is projects, life, your career will hit walls. Timelines will change. But here's the reality. People don't remember the delays as much as they remember how you treated them while things were difficult. And so when you can manage your own reactions, you can stay the leader that people actually want to talk to, even if and when the news might be bad. So thanks for listening. This has been Kerry Ann Cassidy. Go and get that one word for your next meeting and lead from there. I'll see you in our next session. Be dangerous, be brilliant. Life's too short to play it safe.